What's up FAV, I'm Elevator and welcome back to this sub-series of EC2Torials, all about build a boat for treasure. This episode is going to be about how to use the build tool extra settings. So the build tool is the one with the hammer. You press the number 2 to access this, unless you move it into a different slot. So by default you will have wood selected. The extra settings is accessed by clicking this tiny plus button up here. So I'll go through these one by one. By default you'll have a check mark in this top box. This will be in the centre. This will be set to 1 and this will be set to 90. So what this does is, this bottom one here is your rotate, since it's labelled rotate, and you press R and T to rotate blocks. So R and T. If you click this here, it will advance it by 1, which is going to be 45. This time when I press R, the block will rotate at a 45-degree angle. Now you can type values in here. So let's say if we want to rotate a block by 20, type 20 in here. And now when you rotate it, it will rotate by 20 degrees. And you press this here to just cycle through the default settings. I recommend leaving this at 90 unless you need to build a really detailed build. Now move is a very useful one. Say I'm placing blocks like this. This gap is one stud, and this gap here is 2 studs. So you can see it's set to 1. If I set this to 0.5, I can move blocks closer together. And if I set it to 0.2, I can move blocks even closer together. This is very useful for high detail builds. 0 is just no snapping whatsoever. So you just place blocks freely. Merging level is whether blocks connect to each other or not. See, these blocks join together. But a third one does not join. That is your default setting. You can click this. Furthest left mean blocks will not join. See, all these blocks are separate. And furthest right mean every block will join. This is useful if you don't have access to the scale tool. I recommend just leaving that to the furthest left. Match rotation is one of the most useful things in this game by my opinion. Say I'm building things with like silly, weird rotation angles. Say like 0.8. Which doesn't work, let's just do 1. And you select a different block and you want that to match the angle of that. You simply click on match rotation. And then the block will match the rotation. It's one of the most useful tools in my opinion. Especially when you're building high detail. Usually people when they first start off playing the game they will literally just use 45 to build slightly higher detail builds. Okay, so that's match rotation, and the final thing on this menu is anchor block. Anchor block means anchor is like it's not adhering to gravity, and unanchor means does adhere to gravity. So let's just build a tower here. And this top block, I'm going to disable this setting. So you can see the blocks stay up. But if I delete the block below the one that I unanchored, it will drop. This is how people are able to make their boats go without launching. It's also how people are able to do this. All of my glitches, I build it with anchor off. Because it's just easier for me. And if I want to anchor something, I can just use this tool here to select whatever I want to anchor and anchor it. So that's how you use the extra settings. I'll see you all in the next episode. Till then, baby.